Hi, welcome back to Lazy Girl's Kitchen. Today for Lazy Girl's lunch we're making cocktail meatballs. My whole life I grew up with my family, and a lot of occasions that I went to, such as weddings and baby showers and such, they always had these, what they called cocktail meatballs, which was only a jar of grape jelly and chili sauce. You just mixed one bottle of chili sauce and basically about 16 ounces of grape jelly together and made these wonderful cocktail meatballs. Well, once I grew up, I realized that I could probably do better than that. So this is going to be a recipe that I found online just for a cocktail meatball, and I really like it. We're going to start by putting some, I think it's a half a teaspoon of chopped garlic in here. I'm going to go ahead and put this down a minute. Stuff's not cooperating. I did it the lazy way, of course, and bought some already chopped garlic, so I'm going to put that in there. Also, it called for onions. I think it's 1 teaspoon of minced shallot it called for, but I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to get some liquid in here with this. I'm going to go ahead and do the ketchup. It says a half a cup. I'm going to use about, I don't know, 3/4 of a cup probably, just to make a little bit of extra sauce. As you can see, my onions are cooking right up in there. Alright, next, some Worcestershire sauce, about 2 teaspoons. Smells really weird when it's cooking. And it's also up a little high. I wanted to heat up my pan a little bit, and I overdid it. Next, we're going to add a half a cup of brown sugar. Yum. And this tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar. An 1/8 a teaspoon of black pepper. I should definitely be using the spoon so I'm not scratching up my pan. And then I'm going to add this little bit of onion salt instead of cutting up 1 teaspoon of an onion. I usually do it, but today we're doing it the lazy girl way. Just put a little onion powder or onion salt in there. I would not add any additional salt because your ketchup and Worcestershire sauce are going to have a lot of sodium in that. So it says to cook this for about 10 minutes or so and thicken up your sauce. And then we'll add the meatballs, which are actually these Armour meatballs, already made the lazy girl way. If you prefer to make your own meatballs, certainly do that. This is all I ever do is use these. My Italian family would probably not be happy with me if they knew. But making real meatballs takes a lot of time and energy and, you know, different varieties of meat if you want to do it the right way. So, anyway, we're going to let this cook for just a minute, and then I'm going to add the meatballs, which I've already pre-cooked. I just fried them in the frying pan for a few minutes and got them thawed out. That way they're not frozen. You can put the meatballs in the refrigerator for a day or two before you decide to cook them and let them thaw out a little bit. I did not do that. You can just fry them for a few minutes. I put the lid on them, and that helps to kind of steam them at the same time. And then there are a couple different ways that you can cook them. So here's some directions. You can either do it on the pan, you can do it in the microwave, which really, it doesn't take much more time to do it in the frying pan or on the baking sheet. Or you can just add these to a jar of marinara sauce or your regular spaghetti sauce, frozen, and just, you know, cook it for like a half an hour. This doesn't make very much sauce, so if you cook the meatballs long enough to get them cooked thoroughly, more than likely you're not going to have very much sauce left. This is only enough sauce to coat the meatballs. That's why I use a little bit of extra ketchup. That way you have a little bit of extra sauce. So, I should probably cook this sauce a little bit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and add the meatballs to it. There we go. This is supposed to be about 48 meatballs. So this will be a lot of days of coming home and having meatballs for lunch or dinner. I really love these. This is one of my, you know, things that I cook most often to have for lazy girls lunch. Probably every about 3 weeks or so, I'll make these meatballs. So, this is what you get. A lot of nice meatballs. They taste very good. Trust me, they're better than grape jelly and chili sauce. I've also seen grape jelly and barbecue sauce. So, if you're really lazy, you can do it that way. Other than that, this took, what, about 7 minutes, maybe another 3 with the cooking of the meatballs. And here you go. I mean, for me, this is enough for like 6 servings. So I could eat meatballs all week if I want it. Please keep checking in, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for coming and seeing me. And have a great day.